Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram.
Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण dear devotees. So today is the 27th of March. It is Chaitra Masa or Vishnu Masa, Krishna Paksham, Trayodasi Tithi. So there are no Vaishnavins in the calendar. So we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so today it looks Shri Radha Madhava, they are very beautifully in a golden color, all in lots of jewelries, and Radha Mata and Krishna feeling so beautiful. Okay, so with that relishing that beauty, so we shall enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. So here, relishing beauty, so Dhruv Maharaj, Drubhyam Prapasyan Vibham Ivadbhataha. So he was embracing the Lord with his eyes and kissing Chumbha Nivasena Bhujeri Vaslishan and hugging with his arms, with just like a child to the parents. So just a glimpse of it. Here, so move into Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Vidura is inquiring from Uddhava about the well-being of the Pandavas. So yesterday, he is asking one after another, Yudhishthira, Bhimasena, Arjuna, and then yesterday he was asking about Nakula and Sahadeva. So Yamo vitasit tanayo putayaha paddehi vito pakshamabhihi akshini iva remata uddhaya nude swariktam parat suparna viva vajrivaktra. So these Nakula and Sahadeva were protected by the Yudhishthira, Bhima, and Arjuna, just like your eyelids protect the eye. So, in such a way, in the battle of Kurukshetra, they have taken back all of their kingdom from Duryodhana. Comparing the analogy like a Garuda take the nectar from the mouth of Indra. So, in such a way, that is the prowess of Nakula and Sahadeva was as well, and they were always protected by the children of Kunti Devi. Okay, so after that, Vidura today he is inquiring about the Kunti Devi. So he is asking Uddhava whether Kunti Devi is still alive. So she has got 5 children, and because she lost her husband, and instead of entering into the fire, so she was charge. She was in charge of the looking after the children. So she took that greatest duty. And this Pandu, he was the Adhirata. So he is the great warrior. He has single-handedly he has conquered all 4 directions. So without Pandu, how can she is still living just only for the sake of the Pandavas to raise them, to give protection to them? Because of that, she still alive? Is she doing well? Likewise, Vidura is inquiring from Uddhava. Okay, so we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Third canto, chapter 1, verse number 40. अहो प्रतापी द्रीते अद्भकार्धे राजश्रीवर्येण विनापितेन यस्तु एकवीर अधिगतो विजिग्ये धनुर्द्वितीय कुकुभः चतस्रः अहो प्रतापी ध्रीते अर्भकार्धे अहो प्रतापी ओ my lord प्रतापी Kunti Prita Kunti Also, Drite, she bears her life. Arbhakadhe, for the sake of fatherless children. Arbhakadhe. Aho Prutapi Drite, Arbhakadhe. Whether she is still alive, so bears her life for the sake of fatherless children. Rajasya Varyena Vinapitena. Rajasya Varyena is King Pandu the best. Without him, whether she is still alive, Rajasya Varyena Vinapitena. Yestu Ekaviro Adhirado Vijighe. Yestu is the one who has Yestu Viraha, the warrior. Adhiradaha Vijigve, and he is the commander, only one commander, Vijigve. He could conquer Dhanur Dvitiya Kukubaha Chatasrasaha. Dhanur, the bow, Dvitiya is the second. Kukubaha Chatasrasaha. So he conquered the four directions. So whenever Pandu was given in charge of the inheritance to the throne at that time, because Dhritarashtra was not qualified because he was blind by birth. So at that time, though he was blind, to compassionate to his brother Pandu, he asked him to sit on the throne while Pandu is going to conquer all these things and bring all the opulences. Likewise, Pandu says, and then he conquered the four directions, Pandu Raja. So whether without that Pandu, now Kunti is doing well. Likewise, Vidra is inquiring. Aho pratapi dhriyate arbhakadhe rajasya varyena vinapitena yestu ekavira adhirado vijigve dhanurdvitiyaha kukubah chatasrasaha. The translation. O my lord, is Pruta still living? She lived only for the sake of her fatherless children. Otherwise, it was impossible for her to live without King Pandu, who was the greatest commander and who alone conquered the four directions simply with the help of a second bow. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, can I request Sita Sundari Mataji, if available, to read?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A faithful wife cannot live without her lord, thus husband, and therefore all widows used to voluntarily embrace the burning fire which consumed the dead husband. The system was very common in India because all the wives were chaste and faithful to their husbands. Later on, with the advent of the age of Kali, the wives gradually began to less adherent to their husbands, and the voluntary embrace of the fire by the widows became a thing of the past. Very recently, the system was abolished since the voluntary system had become a forcible social custom. When Maharaja Pandu died, both his wives, namely Kunti and Madri, were prepared to embrace the fire. But Madri requested Kunti to leave for the sake of the younger children, the five Pandavas. This was agreed upon by Kunti at the, at, at the added request of Vasudeva. In spite of her great bereavement, Kunti decided to leave, not to enjoy life in the absence of her husband, but only to give protection to the children. This incident is referred to here by Vidura because he knew all the facts about his sister-in-law Kunti Devi. It is understood that Maharaja Pandu was a great warrior and he alone, with the help of bow and arrow, could conquer the world's four directions. In the absence of such a husband, it was almost impossible for Kunti to live on even as a widow. But she had to do it for the sake of the 5 children. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Mataji. So it's not philosophy, it is the past historical events what were there, and then Kunti Mata has accepted the request of Madri and Vyasadev and to look after the children. So that is the past time. I request Mataji if you wanted to add any comments, Mataji, Sita Sundari Mataji from here. So you may be knowing all these details much.
No, it is Prabhupada explained already the system of our social system. So it is not only social system, like it's there was philosophy and moral behind that chaste wife. Yeah, the in it was, yes, it chaste wife and faithful wife cannot survive without their husbands. That's why, out of grief, as they could not tolerate the separation of husbands, it was happened. Otherwise, but gradually it degraded because the faithfulness, like relationship, bondage, love, when it was in decreased at that time, they thought that it is something that they obliged or just uh, like insist the wives to do that. That's why with the time and Kali Yuga, in Kali Yuga, what is happening? Everything is degrading. The relationship of parents, like husband between wife and among the family members, the loving relationship is decreasing. That's why it's changing. So now we think that it was not good, it was insisted, it was not humanity to do that before what was used to do. But there was, and it was happened like they accepted it with their consent. It was nothing insisted. But nowadays it's different side. Not only the social degradation, it was for Kunti Devi, it was different, because she had to take care of the children also. So like that way, the social system is also changing. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It is thing.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here, so whenever women are chaste, and then they look after their husbands very nicely with so much of respect. विश्रम्भेन आत्मशौचेन धमेन नियमेन च शुश्रूषया सौहृदेन वाचा मधुरया च भोः. In such a way, women are always living longer when they're looking after with their husband. And the husband is engaging in the spiritual activities, and his destination is a spiritual planet. And wife also goes along with him. So that was the tradition. But due to the age of Kali, so things changed. So that was the system. So during the Kunti's period, uh, Kunti Mata was about to go into the fight, but Vyasadeva also requested. Okay, so that is about this Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, just a woman, it is not possible for them to live alone. Otherwise, if they are alone, they will be misused, abused by the social system, the society. So there are so many people to exploit such widows. Okay, so that if there is a exploitation of widows, then what happens? They will lose an opportunity to elevate themselves onto the spiritual planets. One has to be chaste, that is keeping oneself in the pure. Okay, so conscious needs to be very pure. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So here Vidra is inquiring about the Kunti Devi, whether Kunti Devi is doing well. अहो प्रतापिधेते अर्भकाध्ये राजस्यवर्येण विनापितेन यस्तु एकवीर अधिरथो विजिज्ञे धनुर्विजयः कुकुभः चतस्रः. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. It is a big letter today, so I request two devotees to take part into read this letter. So, letter to Vrindavan Chandra, July 19th, 1970, Los Angeles. So, can I request the first half of the letter by one devotee and second half of the letter by Hangma Mataji. Hangma Mataji reads from regarding third question. The first part, can I request any unallocated devotee? Jafna Kanya Mataji, would you like to read? So you have not taken it in this week.
Yes, Prabhu. Which part did you say?
From until half. So until
Okay. My dear Vrindavan Chandra, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated the 12th of July 1970 and noted the contents. I am very glad that Haladhara has gone to join you in Balimore Center. Now you are there. You are 3 men strong, so carry on our program nicely, and gradually more sincere souls will come. Do not be disappointed, but be always engaged in pushing on Sankirtana, distribution of our literatures, prasadam, and preaching and classes. And preaching and classes, and sincere souls will come. It is only required that we work very sincerely, and Krishna will provide all facilities according to our endeavor. Regarding your first question, when a person becomes a perfect yogi, he can transfer himself to any planes in the material or spiritual sky at his will. That is the perfection of the mystic yogi process. Generally, the yogis are impersonalists. Therefore, they transfer to higher planets within this material world. This is explained in the second canto of Bhagavatam in chapter 8, verse 13 of the Gita. It is described that the yogis thinking of the Lord while vibrating Om, so he goes to the Lord's abode because he's thinking of Krishna. One who knows what is Om knows that Om is the sound by representation of Krishna. He immediately remembers Krishna, just like we can chant, just like we chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This conception of Om, an impersonal conception, is different. The impersonalist has no information of Krishna. He thinks of something like the Brahma Jyoti effulgence. Shall I carry on? Yes, Krishna fulfills everyone's desires fully. He can fulfill our desires either materially or spiritually. Material desires to be the supreme enjoyer or God are not natural desires. However, such desire is Maya. Maya means what is not. Our constitutional position is not that of the supreme enjoyer. So such desire is unnatural and false. Krishna fulfills the ultimate spiritual desire of everyone also. According to one constitutional position, he enjoys a fully perfect relationship of love of Krishna. Just like a hand is not happy when it is trying to be independent, and it becomes naturally happy when it acts in its constitutional capacity as subordinate part and parcel of the whole body. But if the hand desires to be the complete body, that desire is not constitutional, so such fulfillment of false desire cannot be real. However, for those who are not advanced in their intelligence and desire to be one of the supreme, Krishna grants such persons the opportunity to merge their identity in his transcendental effulgent body. So that desire can be fulfilled by Krishna also. But one who is in full knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and who knows his own constitutional position never desires in that way. Rather, he always desires only to fulfill his constitutional position of eternal existence as servant of Krishna. And such service is complete and perfect and the supreme pleasure for the living entity. Who can enjoy more than one who is always enjoying Krishna? So it may be said that his enjoyment is supreme. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. I can request Hangma Mataji to read next half, please.
Hare Krishna. Regarding your third question, this yoga process is authorized, but Arjuna says that it is too difficult. The so-called yogis are simply making farce. They do not reach to the perfectional point of yoga. Arjuna admitted this difficulty and it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, Krishna said that anyone who is thinking of him within his heart is first class yogi. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is recommended about kirtana. This kirtana means kirtana or glorifying of the holy name, fame, form, activities, qualities, etc. of the Lord. They are all kirtana. Not that everything has to be included in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, the spiritual master is required. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends Kirtaniya Sadahari, want to chant the glories of the Lord always. Question 4. What Lord Jesus Christ says that is the destination of the devotees? What Lord Jesus Christ says, I do not know. If there is no description of the kingdom of God, then we give that Chintamani Prakara Sadamasu etc. Question the fifth. If Muhammad, as the great servant of God, and Lord Jesus Christ is the Son of God, then where is the break of the disciplic succession? After all, the disciplic succession is beginning from God. So how do you find that there is no disciplic succession? If the original tree has branches, twigs, and leaves, and they are in touch with the original tree, it is all right. The test is the the test is whether the line is in touch with the supreme. That is all. Although Muhammad and Jesus Christ appeared in the Kali Yuga, their instruction is as it is because the persons to whom they had to speak could not understand anymore, and they find it difficult to understand even that much. Question the sixth. You are always with Krishna, but you forget that is Maya. Regarding Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verses 5 and 6, all these are elements and their interactions are the bodily combination and its changes. Convictions are mental impressions derived through the body. Convictions are not fixed up. The aggregate refers to the aggregate of the elements or the body. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So kindly contemplate on the takeaway points while we hear from Jahnakanya Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Jai Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Any points to enable?
Prabhupada is saying about how important it is that we progress in distributing the messages across the world by our Sankirtan movement and the literature. We are, distributing the books and his literature and sharing prasadam, preaching, like we do in the temple. We have classes. We're telling the people what we're about so they could engage. And he says by making sure that you commit yourself and provide this service, you will see people will increasingly come and enjoy what we have to offer. So and so where is this, how can this happen? He's saying because Krishna will notice that we are sincere and we are carrying out his service as sincere servants. He will give us that energy and the strength, and miraculously things will happen, and you will see. And it's proven in the scriptures. He quotes some of the Bhagavad Gita's scriptures and the Srimad Bhagavatam that actually says that. So we be vibrating the sound by singing, and it was Om Namo Bhagavate before you start. Invites the Lord to your kathas and invite him to empower us to do the service as we're saying. It says about impersonalist has no information of Krishna. He thinks of something like the Brahmajyoti effulgence. So we are not falsely preaching the holy name. We've got evidence to show that it's coming from the Lord's mouth. Bhagavad Gita is about whatever the Lord speaks from his own mouth. So, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the glories of his pastimes. So it's all about the sweetness of Krishna. And then you have the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which delivers the soul of Krishna, the wholehearted soul. He opens his heart to the public, despite anybody, despite their disposition. He doesn't discriminate who should have his glories and his instructions about the joy of life, which is chanting and loving each other. So this is all coming from the love of Krishna. We are lucky to be, by endeavoring to do his work, which is serving the Lord by spreading the name of Krishna and giving the joy to the people generally. We are actually carrying out Krishna's work, and we become the sincere servant. And that's what we're about. If we try and serve Krishna because he's everything to us, he gives us everything, we become totally happy. What is this? Just like hands. Yes, there was a analogy about the hand is trying to be, if just like a hand is not happy when it's trying to be independent, so is jointly by using every part of us, we will actually wholeheartedly, we will invite other people to join. And so it's not only one of us, it will be many of us serving Krishna, and we will be a communal team that we will advance in our intelligence and fulfill Krishna's desire, which is not to forget him, to carry out his duties. I think that is the main theme here, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautifully explained. So we shall move to the Hangma Mataji about for the second half of the reflections.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. There are a few points that I did not understand much, but I will try to explain the takeaway points which I have understood. The first about yoga, this also I didn't understand much. Whether it is too difficult to perfect it. I think it means to say that in this age it is a bit difficult to get that perfection point in yoga, and but anyone who is always thinking about Lord and who is always praising him is a true yogi at heart. And then about kirtana, we should always be we should always be glorifying the Lord, and we should always be praising the Lord, and do activities dedicated to the Lord, for the Lord, and chant the glory of the Lord always. And regarding the fourth question, this as well, it was a bit difficult for me to understand, Prabhuji, about Jesus Christ, and about Muhammad and Jesus Christ. I do not. I get confused whether he is saying whether there is disciplic succession, or whether there's Gurum Parampara or not. And yeah, and then this Maya, it is we have gotten so entangled in this materialistic world and thinking about the materialistic needs and fulfillment, that we have forgotten where we have come from, and we have forgotten about Krishna. Yes, that is Maya. And and then the convictions regarding what, this one also I did not understand much, Prabhuji. I'm so sorry, Prabhuji. I think I only understood the easier points. That is this much, Prabhuji, I got from this letter.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
But you have added very nicely. Thank you so much. So there is one point here Prabhupada is mentioning in this letter. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is generally Krishna says Om Ityekaksharam Brahma Vyaharan Mam Anusmaran Yah Prayati Jajan Deham Sayati Paramam Gatim. And whoever is chanting this mantra starting with Om Ityekaksharam Brahma, and always remembering the Lord. Vyaharan Mam Anusmaran, remembering only the Lord. Yah Prayati Tijindeham, whenever he leaves his body at the time, he goes back. Sayati Paramam Gatim, go back to the supreme abode of the Lord. So there are different pastimes. I mean, different timings also. Yogi can choose like Agni Jyotir Agni Jyotir Aha Suklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam. Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Vido Janaha. During the whenever there is a fire, so he will go during that time in the presence of the fire. If he leaves his body, he will go to the supreme abode. So sometimes yogis they enter into the fire. For example, in the Ramayana, one yogi he was waiting for Rama to come, and then in front of Rama he entered into the fire. That one also is like here Agnir Jyotir Aha Suklaha. And then daytime and also Hare Krishna, sorry. So during the light, during the daytime, during the Sukla Paksha, so of the 6 months, so in these periods, these are all auspicious. But whoever leaves their body in the Dakshinayana, they will come back. So that is, but here, that is for the yogis. But Sukla Krishna Gati Hete Jagataha Shashvate Mate Ekaya Yati Anavrittim Anyaya avartate punaha. One path is going up and does not come back, and another path is he will come back to the earth again, perform some activities like in the human form. So, but devotees, naite suti padda janam yogi na muhyeti kashyana. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhavarjana. But yogis are devotees. They do not worry about these two paths, either Uttarayana or Dakshinayana, daytime, nighttime, or fire or no fire. They do not worry about it. Naite sudhi padda janam yogi muhyati kashyana. Because they will never ever be bewildered. They're all because they are always engaged in the devotional service. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhavarjana. That's why, oh Arjuna, you become a yogi. Yogi means who remembers Krishna all the time, not personal endeavors. So, but connecting to the Krishna. So yogis here impersonalist, they go on the strength of their only yogic power. But devotees, they are always relying on Krishna. Okay, so that is one point to say. And then uh, about Maya here, Prabhupada is explained. Maya is means we are the enjoy, that is Maya, and we are trying to enjoy ourselves, separating from Krishna, that is Maya. Ma means it is not, Ya means in this world or this body, this current existence, it is not the true. It is not true. It is existing, but it is it is temporary only. It will not exist forever. And Krishna fulfills everyone's desires. So karmana dhaiva netrena jantu deha upapattaye. Because as long as the desire is there, personal desire is there, he'll come to the material world. If he has a spiritual desire, he'll go to the spiritual world. That spiritual desire is always there. He can change the desire from material to spiritual. So that is one thing needs to be changed. That is through our activities, by our personal endeavor. That requires personal endeavor, changing the desires. And then during that time, when we are engaging in the devotional service, because the Bhokta Aramijnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Jnatva Mam Shanti Mrichati. So Krishna is supreme enjoyer. If we just participate to cooperate for Krishna's enjoyment, we will also be happy. If we try to enjoy by ourselves, then that is where trouble comes. And we come into the clutches of Maya, and we will be suffering more and more. Okay, that is about here. And then here, Prabhupada, one point to say here. Yoga process is authorized here. So here Arjuna mentions after saying that Dhyana Yoga, the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna he mentions Yoyam Yoga Swaya Proktaha Samyena Madhusudhana Etasyaham na pasyami chanchalatva sthitam siram. Oh my dear Lord, I do not I do not think that it is easy for me. Etasyaham na pasyami. I do not see that much easy. Chanchalatva sthitam siram. And mind is always bewildering. Though who is speaking? Arjuna, who has pleased Lord Shiva with his meditation and with his deep concentration. He is admitting that a difficulty. But what to speak of us? Okay, so and then after that point is the Kirtana, all these philosophies and everything coming at the concluding, Etan nirvidhyamananam itchitam akuto bhayam yoginam rupa nirnita Hare Namanu Kirtanam. This is the ultimate thing. That is every Wednesday we sing the glories of the Lord. Kirtans. That is the ultimate point. That is the fruit of all these things. Kirtaniyaha sada harihi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends. That is the fruit. Ultimately, all the philosophies going through everything, one has to come to that point. And then Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. That is the ultimate thing. And then about the here Jesus Christ and then Muhammad Prophet Muhammad. So one is Muhammad is servant of God, Jesus is the son of God. They are trying to preach according to the time, place, and circumstances. But somewhere or other, the disciplic succession. So Prabhupada is questioning about it. How do you think that there is no disciplic succession? So there is disciplic succession. But if there is a disconnection, then the philosophy will be vague or it does not have any strength in it. Likewise, even in if you take in our in the Hindu religion who called themselves as Hindu, there are so many of things like that. So many people sprout out like a mushrooms and then thinking that I am God, something like that. But they are just like a twigs and leaves which are not connected to the tree. So here Krishna conscious evam parampara praptum imam rajashyo viduhu sakalena mahata yogo nastha parantapa. So Krishna established that, again the Supreme Personality of Godhead established that knowledge. Yesha atmapato avyaktaha nastaha kalena bhuyasa tam pravritum deham imam vidhi maya vritam. Kapila Bhagavan says the same thing. This knowledge was pura proktam yamavocham puranaghe. So, oh my dear mother, this knowledge is already there. I am repeating the same knowledge. Rishinam srotu kamanam. It is sarvanga naipunam, yogam sarvanga naipunam. It gives all kinds of, it touches all subject matters. That is bhakti yoga. This is, what is that one? Karma, jnana, dhyana, everything is in a one single package. That is bhakti. So here, when it is coming to these ones, and they don't have understanding about the spiritual world, the chintamani prakrishadmashu. So that is, they do not have those descriptions, and those descriptions are, they would not say that it may not be bhumira punalo vayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankariti me bhinna prakriti. Krishna clearly says that one. This material world is that, but my world is spiritual in nature. But they do not have that kind of discrimination about the material and spiritual worlds. This is what we could see in the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, like that. That is so, as long as that disciplic section is there, they are authenticated. If they say there is no God beyond Muhammad, beyond Jesus Christ, then it is a disconnection. Okay, so and then about all this is forgetfulness of Krishna is the Maya. Kadati krutyamam yadva bhavakratam adikramam. When we forget Krishna, then we make all mistakes. Then we do not have that much happiness, blissfulness. When we remember Krishna, all things are there. And here about this, Prabhupada is explaining about it is the etat kshetram samasena savikaram udahrutam. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says about the Mahabhutanya Hankaro Buddhiravyaktam evacha Indriyadi Dasekam cha Panchachendriya Gocharaha Icha Dvesha Sukam Dukkam Sanyatas Chetanadutihi Etat Kshetram Samasena Savikaram Udahrutam. This body is the place, Kshetra, where all these interactions of the earth, water, fire, it takes place all the time. Etat Kshetram Samasena Savikaram, always changes are happening. This is about the material elements. Okay, so one has to raise himself above these things, above the conceptions of the body. So this is what Prabhupada is explaining her. Convictions are mental impressions derived through the body. Like I'm the body, I want to enjoy, I want to eat this, I want to taste it, touch it. So these are convictions are not fixed up. The aggregate refers to the aggregation of the elements of the body. So here behind all of these things to happen, as long as the soul is there, these interactions are keep on taking place. Once the soul leaves, then this is a dead body. Okay, it will all these elements mix up with the original elements of Panchabhutas. It will merge into all the 5 elements. Okay, so that is about my takeaway points from this Prabhupada's letter. Okay, that is from Prabhupada's letter. Any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add?
I just, Hare Krishna, just want to reassure Mataji that not only was she confused, even Arjuna was confused, as you say in chapter 6, the Bhagavad Gita, about when Krishna was explaining to him about, about yogas, the different yogas. Is Mataji still there?
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Yes,
Yes.
after Prabhuji's explanation, I got
Yeah.
to understand the point. Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Mataji. So it was even for Arjuna, it was difficult. So we are in the age of Kali. So we can do nice kirtans, nice Hare Krishna bhajan, remember Krishna. That is easy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Iti Shodashakam Namam, Kali Kalmashanashakam, Natah Paratah Upayah, Sarva Vedeshu Drusyate. By summarizing all the Vedas and everything, only just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is Yoginam Nirnitam. This is Hare Namanukirtanam. The yogis, they have decided this. Hare Namanukirtanam, always sing and glorify the Lord. Okay, so that is the conclusion of it. Krishna says, Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayanta Shamam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. Ramanti Cha. One derives most pleasure. Ramanti Yogino Anante Satyanande Chidatmani. Iti Ramapadena so Parabrahma Abhidiyate. That is Param Brahma Rama. Okay, likewise, at the end, one has to do kirtans every day. Every week we are doing it. We need to make 1 week as a Axbrinj Sangha Kirtan Melos. Like Mayapur Melos, we have to make our Melos as well. Okay, so that is my takeaway from this. Thank you so much, Mataji. And from the updates point of view, so today evening we have got Krishna book reading with Shyam Guruvara Prabhuji at 8 p.m. That is our upcoming event. Okay, dear devotees, if you have got any other updates, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Okay, we shall conclude. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavendra
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo Namaha.
Anantakoti
Jakoti Vaishnavendra Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna conscious day, everyone. Hare Krishna.